Welcome to TechieShare. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is ArrayList in data structure and how to implement ArrayList data structure using Java. Before diving into the concept, if you are yet to subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel first. Let's dive into the concept. It's a kind of linear data structure. So there will be a question rise in your mind, right? So we are already have an array, then why we go for array list? Actually, the array list provides a dynamic arrays, and also it provides lot of manipulation functionality on array. Seems confusing? No issue. I will explain in few minutes. In array there will be a restriction, the array having size restriction, right? But in array list there is no restriction in memory allocation. Like we can say it as the array is a resizable array, so whenever it need to grow it will be automatically grow. There is no restriction for memory allocation, so it can be shrink and grow dynamically. Here the insertion and deletion can be performed in the specific position, and also for creating size-based array list initialization will give a better performance. I will tell you how it works in the later section. The basic application of array list will be here we can use the store the data from database and retrieve the data from database. Like most of the CRUD application, we are simply using array list, and also it is used to processing the collections of data in the same data type and so on. So we implement this array list using Java. For storing the data, you have to create one int array here. So I'm just declaring one int array null. I want to create this array, so I need some capacity value. For that purpose, I'm just creating one capacity field. By default, the capacity will be 10. But for demonstrating this array list data structure purpose, I'm just changing this default value by 5. Okay. So now I'm going to create another one field called size. So for tracking the size of your array list, by default the list is empty, so size will be 0. Okay. Now I'm going to initialize my array into my default constructor method. So I'm just creating one default constructor. Here I'm going to initialize my int array. So the syntax will be this dot array equal to new int. Here I have to pass the capacity value. So I have a field capacity, right? So I'm just pass the capacity field here. That's it. Now the array will be created here. Suppose the user wants to create some customized capacity value. So what you have to do? You have to create one parameterized constructor. So in this parameterized constructor, the first step you have to assign this capacity value to our capacity field. So this dot capacity equal to capacity. Afterwards, you just create one array using that capacity which you have done in the default constructor. This dot array equal to new int of capacity. That's it. I am going to insert the data into the array list. For that purpose, I am going to create one method called add. The method signature will be public void add. Here I have to pass the argument called as data. So this is the data which I am going to insert into the array list. Okay. The method logic will be, right now we have a field called size, right? So consider this size will be as an index. So you just assign the data to the array size index position. Nothing but array of size equal to your data. That's it. So you are simply assign the data to the array size index position. After inserting the data, you simply increase your size value by 1. So size equal to size plus 1. Okay. So what is the first step? You have to assign the data to the array size index position. So array of size equal to data. After that, you have to increase your size value by 1. So size equal to size plus 1. That's it. We can say change the statement size equal to size plus 1. Instead of that, we can use post increment operator, right? So I'm simply change the statement into as a post increment operator. That's it. Finally, I'm going to inform the user the particular data was inserted into the array list. So I'm just creating one sysout statement here for informing the user data inserted into list. Okay. Fine. I'm going to insert the data into the specific index position. For the purpose, I'm going to overload this add method. So in this method, I'm going to insert the data from the given index position. Okay, so for the purpose, I'm going to add another one parameter called index in my add method here. So I'm going to add another one parameter called index. Okay, index, that's it. Here the method logic will be, suppose if we want to insert the data in the specific index position, then what will happen, from the specific given index position to the last index position, the data will be shipped down here. Afterwards the new data will be inserted. Finally your size will be increased by 1. Let I explain this process step by step. The first step will be, you have to ship down your data by one index down. So what you have to do, you have to ship down from the last element to the given index position. So the last element nothing but your size minus 1 data. Okay, so the last element should come to the next index position, nothing but the size index position. For that purpose, I'm just initialize the value I equal to size. The condition will be I greater than index. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to ship down the last element to the size index position. So array of I equal to size minus 1, nothing but array of I minus 1. That's it. Now the data will be shipped down in the size position. Afterwards the same operation will be repeated until the loop get exit. Okay, so now the first index will comes to the second index. Right now the loop will get exit. So now what you have to do, you have to insert the data in the specific given index position. So array of index equal to data. Once you have done like this, you have to increase your size value by 1. So size plus plus. This is what the array of index position logic will be. Okay, I'm going to inform the user the data inserted into the list. That's it. So this is what the array of index position. Before checking these methods, I'm going to validate my index position. Suppose the given index is out of range, nothing but if the given index is greater than my size minus 1 position. If it is so, the given index is out of range. So for that case, I have to inform the user the given index is out of range. So I'm going to create one if condition here, if index greater than size minus 1. If it is so, I'm going to inform the user the given index is out of range. So for that purpose, I'm going to create one sysor statement here. Here I have to pass the information index out of bound. Okay, once I have informed the information to the user, I'm going to stop the execution. For that purpose, I'm going to add one empty return statement here. That's it. Let we check our add functionality in the array list. The first step will be, I have to create one object reference for my array list. So array list, here the reference will be ls equal to new array list. We have a method called add. So with the help of that method, I am going to add the data will be 10, afterwards 20, afterwards 30. Once I have inserted the data into my list, let me check in the console. Yeah, 10 inserted, afterward 20, afterwards 30. Fine. Suppose if I am printing my object reference in the sysop, so what will be the output? The output will be as like as a object ID. So instead of displaying like this, I am going to display my list as a array format. For that purpose, I am going to override toString method. So now I am going to override toString method in my array list class. Here I am going to display my list as an array format. For that purpose, I am going to use string builder. The reference will be SB equal to new string builder. The data should be look like as an array, so it should starts with square bracket. Afterwards, the data should be added with comma separator. So I am going to iterate the data from 0th index position to until size minus 1. So the condition will be I less than size. In the iteration, I have to append the data with the help of array of I. Once I have append the data, I have to append the comma separator. So append comma. So the data will be square bracket followed with 10, 20, 30, right? There will be one unwanted tailing comma in my string builder, right? So I have to remove that unwanted tailing comma. For the purpose, I am going to remove the last character using delete char at. Here sb dot length minus 1. So the last comma will be removed from my string builder. Finally, I have to close with close brackets. That's it. So instead of return super dot toString, I have to return sb dot toString. Let me check our main functionality again. So now the data should be displayed as an array format. Yeah, exactly, displayed as an array format. I am going to insert the data in the specific index position. So here I am going to add the data in the first index position. The data will be 40. We have a method called add. There will be two parameters. One will be the data followed with the index position. So ls.add 40 followed with the index position will be 1. So what will happen? The 40 will be inserted in the first index position. So before inserting the data, 20 and 30 will be shipped down by one position. Afterwards, the 40 will be inserted into the first index position. So the final data will be 10, 20, 40, 20, 30. Yeah, 40 inserted into list. For displaying that list as an array format, I am going to duplicating the data. So let me check. 10, afterwards 40, afterwards 20, 30, fine. Now I am going to add another one data into my list. The data will be 50. Okay. So the 50 will be inserted at the fourth index position of my array list, right? So let me check ls.add 50. So in that case, what will happen? The size will be 4. So fourth index position, my data will be inserted. Afterwards, size will be 5. Suppose if I am trying to insert the data afterwards, so in that case, my current array is filled, right? There is no space for inserting the data hereafter. The array list provide dynamic arrays. This is what the array list feature, right? Let I explain how it will be. So once my size equal to my capacity value will be 5, right? Right now the size value will be also 5. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to calculate the new capacity value. Here the formula will be capacity equal to capacity plus half of the capacity. So capacity equal to capacity plus half of capacity. So capacity divided by 2. Capacity divided by 2. So right now our capacity will be 5 plus half of capacity will be 2. So overall new capacity value will be 7. So instead of performing like this, we can use right shift operator. So capacity right shift by 1 time. So capacity right shift by 1 time will be equal like capacity divided by 2. Nothing but. Okay. So let I use right shift operator here instead of divided by operation. Okay. So before printing the capacity value, let I print one information to the user. So array container is overflow. Nothing but our array container is filled. So it display as a array container is overflow. Afterwards, what I have to do, I have to display the new capacity value to the user. So the new capacity value will be new capacity value will be my capacity field. That's it. So right now our new capacity value will be 7. Once I got a new capacity value, the first step will be I have to create one new array with that capacity value. So int new array, here the syntax will be new int of the capacity, the new capacity value. Okay. Now there was an int array with the capacity value 7. The next step will be I have to copy all the data with my current array to the new array which I have created just before. So what I have to do, I have to iterate the data from the 0th index position to until the last position. Like the 0th index position data will be inserted into the new array 0th index position. Similarly, first index data will be inserted in the new array first index position. Likewise, the second index, third index until the size minus 1 index data should be copied from my old array to the new one. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to create one for loop for iterating the data in my array list. So it should be starts with 0 until size minus 1 index. So the condition will be I less than size. Here the data, what I have to do, I have to insert the same index position in the new array. So new array of I equal to my old array, nothing but array. So array of I index position, that's it. So what will happen? Every iteration, the respective index data will be inserted into the respective index position of new array. Once the data copied to the new array, I am just assign that new array will be as a array. That's it. Now our array will be enlarged. This is what the array will be dynamically increased based on the requirement. Okay, let me add another one data for verifying that functionality. So 60. So in that case, what will happen? My array container will be filled, right? So let me check what will be the output. Yeah, my array container is overflow. So what I have to do? I have to find it out the new capacity value. The new capacity value will be 7. So the new with that new capacity value, the new array will be created. Afterwards, I'm just copy all the data from my old array to new array. Finally, I am just inserting 60 into the new array. This is what the array dynamically increased based on the requirement. So instead of keeping like this into my add method, I am going to create one util method called as ensure capacity. So the method signature will be private void ensure capacity. So this method will be useful for verifying whether our current array is full or not. If it is full, it will create the new array and copy all the data from old array to new array. Finally, that new array will be assigned to us a array field. Okay, so instead of implementing the old method, I am just call the ensure capacity method into my add method. That's it. Okay. Similarly, I have to add ensure capacity to add to specific index method too. So I'm just adding the ensure capacity method into my add overloading method too. So let me check that functionality. So right now capacity value will be 7, right? So I'm going to add 2 more data. So 70, afterwards 80. So in that case, what will happen? Again, the array container is overflow. So the new capacity will be 7 plus 7 by 2. So 3. The new capacity will be 10. Let me check anyway. Yeah. After inserting the data 70, the array container, current array container is full. So after trying to add the data, the container is overflow. The new capacity 7 plus 7 by 2. So 10. So the new array will be created and copy all the data. Finally, that data will be inserted into the new array. So 80. That's it. So far, we have discussed about the insertion operation in array list. In next video, I am going to continue this implementation for deletion and other util functionality. So stay tuned.